Hello and welcome to Jibber-Jabber's Halloween spooktacular. He's Chris, I'm Anne-Marie, and we are going to be talking about all things frightful and spooky on this evening's show. So grab a good old hot chocolate and your favourite candy, sit back and relax if you dare.
It's sure to be a scream.
Chris, how is the mood? Have you had a scary week? Tell us what you've been up to.
Well, do you know what? This week, it is my birthday. Not all week, just at the end of it. But it's not scary anymore. But there was a time when I really feared clocking up, the numbers, and I really feared my birthday. This is a true story. Even on my 18th birthday, I had a meltdown. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting old." Blah, blah, blah. And I no longer fear it. I think it's a blessing. And I actually embrace sort of getting older, but I refuse to be old. If that makes any sense at all.
100%.
I embrace my age, but I refuse to write myself off, because this is what I think, right? I might live until I'm 90 years old. And if I do, that is a hell of a lot of life to write off in my 30s by going, "Oh, I'm too old to do that now."
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Definitely. Do you know what? I know they say life is too short, but life is the shortest thing you'll ever do. So you might as well enjoy it.
It's gone in the blink of an eye. I heard this thing, right? Do you know, like when
I mean, life is the longest thing you'll ever do. What am I on about?
What is it?
Oh, how does that saying go?
Life is the longest thing you'll ever do.
Have I just messed that up?
I think you might have messed that up. But I also hear that, do you know when sometimes you feel like time is going really, really quick? It's just your life flashing in front of your eyes.
Oh.
Spooky.
So definitely enjoy it then. Definitely enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Like it's a privilege. So now I very much embrace sort of like my birthday and things like that, and I don't let age sort of limit me into sort of trying new things. Of course, there are some things that no longer serve me anymore, but that's just natural. But I don't think, I can't do that because I'm now in my late 30s. And by the way, I'll be 38 just to get that out of the way. And I'm fine. I'm not in a cold sweat. I'm not like panicked about it. I'm really happy about it, actually.
Really happy. That's great. And do you know what? I'm sure you'll have a wonderful birthday as well. So why not?
I think
Go
so.
and enjoy it.
Why not? I shall.
Go and enjoy it.
How was your week?
My week. Do you know what?
What's been going on?
We've been pumpkin picking.
Pumpkin picking.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, pumpkin picking. So that's what we've been doing. So we are all sorted. We've got our pumpkins ready for carving. We haven't quite got there yet, though, with carving. It's a little bit soon, isn't it? Because I think if you do your pumpkins too early, they go to mush, don't they?
They do, and I don't know if they start smelling as well.
Yeah, they do.
Did I say swelling or smelling? I meant smelling.
Yeah, I got what you meant.
Did I say swelling?
We're good. I got what you meant.
They start swelling there. They do is what they do there. They're little wee thing. Should we get into the next section?
I think we're doing Halloween, not St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's a special. Oh God, I don't want to offend any Irish people. I'm sorry if I have.
Little fun fact for you.
Oh, we do love a fun fact.
We do, don't we? Halloween coincides with the traditional Day of the Dead. So the Day of the Dead is a significant celebration in Mexico and other Latin American countries. It is celebrated between the 31st of October and the 2nd of November and is a chance for families to commemorate and mourn their dead. The celebration combines Aztec rituals with Catholic adaptation. So you'll see traditional Aztec skulls alongside prayers and candles.
Wow. I mean, I kind of like that. I think that we don't really, I guess in Britain especially, we don't really embrace that side of Halloween.
No.
It is a more American side that we are fast approaching. Definitely. In terms of the magnitude of it. But I like this, to remember people that have passed over. And yeah, I really like that.
I like it as well. Really, and it reminds me of the film as well. What's the film? Is it
The Corpse Bride?
No, not The Corpse Bride.
I love that film.
Not The Corpse Bride. I feel like I need to go and Google it very quickly. Shall I go and Google it?
Oh, Google it. But is it Coraline?
No.
I love
No.
that film as well. If anyone hasn't seen Coraline, get yourself onto a streaming platform, or I was going to say pop down to Blockbuster, but you'd have a job because there's none left, is there?
Well, no, not anymore.
Do you remember
Actually,
that though?
not for a very long time.
Do you remember when you could rent like 3 DVDs for 10 quid?
Them days are long gone, aren't they? I
They're
mean,
so
a
good.
lot of people
We've got
don't even
streaming
know
now.
what a DVD is anymore, I don't think.
This is true. This is very
Yeah.
true. I watched movies that I would probably never have watched had I not had to be forced to pick 3 of them for a tenner. Not that you have to. No, you didn't have to or anything, but you're there. You might as well get 3 for a tenner. I'm just
Yeah.
filling gaps. Anne-Marie is currently Googling.
I'm Googling.
Give us a clue about this film. Let's see if we can guess it. Who was in it?
Well, I've got the picture up in front of me. It just doesn't tell me what the name of the film is.
Do you want to send it through to me? See if I know what it is.
Bear with.
Evidently, we'll edit this down.
Yeah, we will. Coco.
Coco. I've never seen this movie. What is Coco?
So it is literally about Day of the Dead. It's about Day of the Dead.
Oh.
This is
And
an
this is based in
animated
Mexico,
film.
right?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
It's based
I
in
have seen
Mexico.
this. Yes. Yeah.
I think it came out in like 2017, 2018. It's
Yeah.
not that old, no.
It's not that old. No.
No. And
Yeah.
that was a lovely film. I'm not very big on animated films, but I enjoyed that. No.
Oh, I do like an animation.
No, I'm not.
And I think Pixar is that really great sort of like it's that great sort of balance between like being a kids animation and having little Easter eggs in there. Not that this is an Easter show, but having little Easter eggs in there for the grown-ups where you kind of go, yeah, I get that. So I quite like an animation.
Well, do you know what? I didn't think I did, and then I saw this film, and who knows? Maybe I do.
Maybe you do, but that is a very interesting fact. I have thoroughly loved that. Why does a witch ride a broomstick? So she can make a clean getaway.
Oh, Chris!
Oh, at least she enjoyed it.
She enjoyed it. Oh, fair play. How about Never Have I Ever? Do you fancy a game of Never Have I Ever?
Only if it's going to be a spooky Never Have I Ever.
Never have I ever seen a ghost.
Well.
Oh, no.
I think I have. So I can't remember if I've talked about this on the show. You and I have definitely talked about it, but I can't remember if I've talked about this on the show. But sometimes I will wake up and there'll be somebody sat at the foot of the bed. And there was a period where this would happen quite a lot.
So is this in your younger days or is this still now?
No. So this, like, sort of the last time this would have happened. Well, actually, the last time this happened was probably about 6 months ago. But so yeah, this is like now, like, you know,
quite recent.
Quite recent, and it's been happening quite a lot during the last like 10 years. Yeah.
Wow. So you say there's somebody sitting at the foot of your bed. Do you know who that person is?
No, not at all. But it's just like a presence. So I've never, like, there's not like a face or something. There's just this sort of like being, which makes me sound really bonkers. But it happens at the weirdest times, and then it happens really frequently. So yeah, I think that I have, but I've never seen its face or their face, or and it's not in a human form or like in a ghost, like it's just like a being. It's and you can sort of feel it sat there.
Wow, that's quite creepy. Do you feel creeped out by that?
So sometimes it has really spooked me, because sometimes I'm not expecting it, but then when it's happened, like I do sound like mad. But when it happens like quite regularly and it's not catching me off guard, I'm just like, oh, you're there again, okay, and then I go back to sleep. But when like it hadn't happened for a really long time, and then about 6 months ago it was happening almost every night, but it was the most intense it had ever been. So
wow.
I think I've seen a ghost. I think that's what it is. Or perhaps I just drink too much caffeine.
Oh, well, if there's any listeners out there who is listening in and is interested in this particular subject, please do get in touch and let us know what you think.
What you think? Have you seen a
Yeah.
ghost?
So I've not actually seen a ghost.
Yeah.
But as a child, I had, do you know, like when you have an office chair and it spins?
Yeah.
Well, I had one of
I
them
do.
in my bedroom, but a child's version, and it was plastic. And it would squeak as it went round. And I was in
Oh
bed the
my.
one night,
Yeah.
and the squeaking woke me up. There was nobody in my room apart from me, but the chair was squeaking all by
It
itself.
was
And to
squeaking.
this day, I'm still very, and I wasn't dreaming. To the point where I made my parents take that chair out of the bedroom and it never came back in.
Wow. Another
Yeah.
time as well, that just reminded me about that. When I was a kid, I probably was about like maybe 6 or 7, and I was at my great grandmother's house, and she lives in a townhouse. So like there was like the front room, and then there was another room behind, and then another one, and she had like the kitchen at the back. And it was just her and I in the house, and she was in the kitchen, and somebody like touched me, as in like
Oh.
on my shoulder. I have never moved so quickly in all my life, except there was nobody there. So like it wasn't her, because like she was the other end of the house. Nobody was in the house apart from her and I. But yeah, I somebody touched me like on my shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Wow. But they do
Oof.
say, don't they, that children are more open
Yeah, and
to
animals as
the
well.
spirit world and animals. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So those are our little ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still get the sort of person sit at the end of the bed. So that's me, really.
Wow. I'm really intrigued about this person sitting at the end of the bed. And I do feel like if we have got any listeners who is very much in tune with the spirit world, they need to come forward and let us know what they think about
Yes.
Chris's experiences.
Share your story.
Yes. So it wouldn't be Halloween without
Pumpkins. I do love a pumpkin. I love a bit of
Oh.
pumpkin carving. We talked about it just briefly at the beginning of the show, but I do think pumpkins, and also I would say it wouldn't be Halloween without Hocus Pocus. I love that movie.
Oh, that's two
Um,
of my answers you've literally stolen
have I
from
stolen
under
them?
my feet. Yeah. Gone.
And another movie I still love watching and I really associate with Halloween is Witches, the Roald Dahl movie. They did a remake quite recently with Anne Hathaway in it, which is a pretty good remake actually. But I love the one with Angelica Houston in it, the original one.
I've never seen it.
Have you never seen it? Oh god,
No.
it's quite frightening for a kids
Do I need to
movie.
go and see
Even
it?
now, you need to go and watch it. Yeah, but I would
Okay.
probably, if you're going to show it to your kids, maybe I would skim it first before you show it to kids, just in case, because
Okay.
it is like, oh, it is quite it is quite frightening. Brilliant,
Oh,
but frightening.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say. It wouldn't be Halloween without those things.
So I would have said exactly the same thing. So I'm going to turn it a little bit now, and I'm going to
Okay.
go back to our childhoods.
Yeah.
And I would say that it wouldn't be Halloween without a black sack.
Oh my gosh, yeah, like a bin liner.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bin
Yeah.
liner.
A bin
Those
liner.
blimmin' nails that were sort of clear plastic with red bits at the end,
Fake
and a
blood.
hat.
And the fangs that really dug into your gums.
I never liked those. I never wore them because they would glow in the dark as well, wouldn't they?
Yes, I would
Yeah,
wear them because I used to think I looked really like the part,
so cool.
and then I'd end up with loads of ulcers around my gums in the days following.
I wonder how many like dental issues that has caused for our generation.
I tried to think.
Now, I don't think you can get like most people have gone private, haven't they, for dentists because there was less resources and etc.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether it's because of our generation and those flipping fangs because we were always at the bloody dentist.
Either that or all the sweets and chocolate you'd get on Halloween.
Yeah, no, that was always like my least favorite. And nobody ever believes me, but even as a kid, I wasn't really into the sweets and chocolate. But I used to love like
Oh.
crisps. I bloody love crisps. I still love crisps.
So,
But yeah,
that was my favourite. However, when I was younger, I do remember a lot of people back then would give money as well, not
I was
sweets.
just about to say, like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was mine. It was all about the money.
Yes.
I
How
want your
times have
pennies,
changed,
please.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably easier, isn't it, to give sweets and also more cost efficient. I think you can sort of pick up a bag of sweets for like £1 or whatever and
Yeah.
dish those out as opposed to like literally
Giving
giving each
each
child £1.
child £1. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
well, we don't tend to get any trickle treaters. Trickle treaters? Trickle treaters.
Trickle? Trickle?
Trickle treatle, trickle. Trickle treaters. So yeah,
We have
often
loads.
do you?
Yeah, our whole estate go out trick-or-treating, and you can guarantee that by about 8 o'clock, when you get the older kids coming round, we have nothing left. And it doesn't
Oh
matter how well
really?
prepared I am, yeah, they all go. Every year we seem to have more and more come round. Not that I'm
Yeah.
complaining, I think it's really lovely to see the children out enjoying themselves. I'm just really sorry to my neighbours that I never seem to get enough in, doesn't matter how hard I
Nothing.
try, yeah.
Do you hand them the candy or do they get to pick themselves?
Well, I used to let them pick themselves, but now I tend to give them a couple of bits each just because it's easier to share
Just
out.
one?
Well, I think it's easier to share out. No, I do give 2 or 3 bits each.
Oh dear, that's very generous. That's why you got nothing
Yeah,
left.
yeah, I know this is the problem, isn't it? I need to maybe not give so much.
Not get so much. Yeah, I think those would be the ones that I would say that really make Halloween for me. Can't think of anything else. I think that's my top things: pumpkins, witches, the original by Roald Dahl, and Hocus Pocus. That for me is Halloween.
Perfect. We need to go back to
Good.
black sacks, though. It'd be more cost efficient.
We should have made
Oh.
costumes out of black. We should have set ourselves a challenge: black sack costumes. That's a tongue twister. And we should have photographed ourselves in them and posted them on our Instagram.
Why did we not do that?
Why did we not think of that?
Old school costumes.
Old school costumes, and everyone looked the same. It was like a uniform.
It was.
The
And it was
90s.
brilliant. We were all the same. Nobody got
We were
picked
all
on. Nobody looked better than anybody else.
Did you used to wear your coat over it as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
So
brave. Never would trust.
what I used to do was I'd put my coat on and then have a bin liner as a cape around my shoulders.
Oh, that's like almost high fashion
Genius.
there. Yeah,
Genius.
genius. Absolute genius. We spoke about pumpkins quite a lot, haven't we, over this show? And I've
We
got
have.
a little fun fact for you, and also
Oh,
something that is going to be incredibly nice for you to do. So bear with while
I
I get up
do
my notes.
like a fun fact. I do like a fun
No,
fact.
fun fact, but this actually it's not just a fun fact. You can actually partake in this fun fact and
Oh,
basically help nature. So
tell
stay
us.
tuned.
Do tell.
Now, with your pumpkins, don't throw your pumpkins away after Halloween. Find woods or a field near you, smash them open, and leave them for the wildlife to eat. Pumpkins are safe for them, and seeds act as a natural dewormer. So this could be like for deer or just wild animals. You take them to a forest, take them to a woods, break them open, because what you don't want is if the deer gets his antlers stuck in the pumpkin.
Of
No, we don't
course.
want this
We don't
because
want
Christmas
that.
is just around the corner. And if Rudolph isn't there to pull the sleigh,
Oh,
no one's getting any presents, mate.
we're
All right.
stuffed.
So yeah, that's basically what you need to do, right, with your leftover pumpkins. So 2.5 billion pumpkins are produced, and only 1/5 gets reused.
Amazing. Do
The
you know
rest end up
what?
in
I know what I'm doing
decaying
with my
in landfill.
pumpkins. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
You are
Please,
talking over me.
I'm so sorry.
But they, so the rest of them end up decaying in landfills. So recycle those pumpkins to the wildlife, or even to a wildlife rehab if there's one near you.
I'm so sorry.
That's my fun fact. This isn't funny, Anne-Marie. We're saving the animals here.
We
Rudolph has
are,
got a
we
job to
are.
do in a few weeks,
And I
and if
promise
he gets
you,
his antlers
I
stuck in a
keep talking
pumpkin,
over you.
he is going to be bamboozled, quite frankly. So yeah, that's it from me. Over to you, I am. Over
I'm
to
so
you.
sorry that I keep talking over you. I swear I don't mean to. I promise you I don't mean to. But I do now know what I'm going to be doing with my pumpkins, and I'm hoping that our listeners will follow our Tread.
Yes, and it's such a great. It's honestly, it's like so great, and it's not going to cost you anything. It is a little, you can have a little walk around the woods or the forest where you are. Brilliant, lovely little day out.
Oh, true or false, Chris? True or false? Do you fancy a game?
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on.
You didn't
I'm
sound quite
all up for it.
convinced when you first said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I am. I really am.
Okay.
I'm just nervous about getting it wrong.
In 2014, a French town banned anyone over the age of 12 from wearing a clown costume or makeup on Halloween. True or false?
I want to say this is true, and I think this has something to do with the movie It.
Oh, I didn't look that far into it, but I can tell you it is true.
It is true. Have they given a reason why though?
No.
Oh, right, okay. Let me find out when the It movie. I'm not sure if that came out in 14 because you don't remember there was 17. So kind of anything to do with that. So when have you ever seen It the movie?
No.
It was the clown.
I know
Okay.
what the movie is, and I know it's about the clown and the
Yeah.
balloon.
So yeah, the balloon and the clown. So again, another remake. There was there was a TV version of it, sort of in the 90s, and oh my gosh, I can't remember his name now. He's been in loads of movies like Home Alone, The Rocky Horror Show, Tim.
The only Tim I'm thinking of at the moment is Tim Burton.
No, it's not Tim Burton, but it's Tim Curry. There we go. I remember now. It's
Tim Curry. I know who you've
Tim
got.
Curry,
I
yeah,
know
a
who
big
you've
fan
got.
of Tim Curry as well. So yeah, he did this. He did the movie because it's Stephen King, isn't it? That it is based on his book. So he did the TV movie, and it was good. But the movie, it is like pretty frightening. And I don't know if it was a publicity stunt, but there were people dressing up as it and just appearing in places and like almost terrorizing people.
Really?
It was all. Do you not remember this? It was like everywhere. It was even on the news and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I think I do remember this because it was in our local news as well, because we actually had people dressing up reasonably
Did
locally.
you?
Yes, we did.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
because
was pretty.
I can remember seeing the photos on social media as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it might have had something to do with that, but actually, we haven't got a flipping clue what it's to do with. We just know that it was true. They weren't allowed to dress up as clowns. Was it clowns?
Clowns.
Yeah, clowns.
Clowns.
There we go.
Okay, true or false? It is illegal to dress up as a witch on Halloween in the US state of Alabama.
I'm going to say false.
It is false.
Oh, wow.
Although it is illegal to dress up as a priest.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. And maybe it's because Alabama, I suppose, is quite religious, isn't it?
It is quite religious, yeah. I'm hoping that I pronounced this correctly. Samhainophobia is the fear of Halloween.
Is it?
Well, is it true or false?
Oh, right. I'm going to say false.
It's true. Samhain
It's
is the
true.
old Gaelic name for Halloween, yeah.
I wonder how many people suffer from that.
I don't know, but this time of year it must be horrific.
Yeah, I wonder if everybody in Alabama suffers from that.
I don't know. Moving on.
Moving on.
Word of the week.
We love a word of the week.
Love a word of the week. Wraith.
Wraith.
Wraith. Do you know what that means?
Ah, you're right. There you are. You're right. Dodgy Irish accent insert.
We're back to that St. Paddy's Day, aren't we?
I don't know. What does it mean?
A ghost or ghost-like image of someone, especially one seen shortly before or after their death. Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, I've never heard of that word before.
I'd never heard of that either.
Is it it's not a old time term for Halloween?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't checked that fact
An
out.
oldie
Maybe
worldie
we need to do a little bit more research on it, but I haven't checked that fact out. But
you know what? If you're interested to find out whether it is, a little bit of homework for everybody. Go out and find out and let us know.
Yes. Interact with us. Come talk to us.
That's a good word. Tip-top word. Brilliant.
Tip-top.
When do cows turn into werewolves? During the full moon.
Oh! Weekly debate then? Should we have a weekly debate?
I suppose the ghosts in the studio have spoken. So yes, let's have a weekly debate. What are we debating? What are we debating this
Debating?
week, AM?
We're not
Debating.
debating.
What are we debating there? I want to know what we're debating, though.
Oh, Chris, it's Halloween. You're really excited for St. Patrick's, though. Please tell
I'm
me why.
excited about it. I don't know. I've never been to Ireland properly, so
You need to go.
I need to go.
You'd fit right in.
I would fit right in.
You
I did a
would.
play once called Ploughing the Stars. That was by an Irish writer called Shauna Casey, but I never got to Ireland.
Well, there's an interesting fact.
That
Anyway,
was an interesting
back to
fact.
the weekly
Anyway,
debate.
yeah, God.
How old is too old to go trick-or-treating?
40?
Oh.
No, I think. How old is too old to go trick or treating? I don't know. I think maybe 12. No,
Yeah.
13.
Oh.
So like 12 is acceptable. 13. Once you get into teenage years, no.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I always said when my children were younger that once they went to secondary school,
Yeah.
there'd be no more. But my daughter is now first year of secondary school.
Hmm.
Well, I've already agreed that she can go trick-or-treating.
But I guess she still wants to, right?
Yeah.
So you're not forcing her out there in a bin liner and a pair
No,
of
definitely
fangs.
not. It's all on her. I've not said anything to her, so she still wants to go, and that's fine. And I think there's loads of her friends that are going as well, which is really lovely, so I don't want her to miss out. And like I said earlier, were you listening when I mentioned about the older kids that come around a little bit later?
Yeah.
So I guess it is the norm, isn't it?
So they sort of take it in sort of like turns to sort of like the younger kids will come in and then the older kids will come in. Because I'm trying to think when I stopped doing
I think it's the norm that the younger kids go around first, but only because maybe they've got to be home earlier for bedtime.
Yeah. I think I must have been about like 10 the last time I went trick-or-treating. But you see, I think that was circumstance. So when I where we used to live, there was like lots of kids in the area, so we'd all kind of go around together. And then we moved house and we lived like on this sort of like street that had like about 3 houses on it.
Oh.
So there wasn't because it was just like fields around and there was just like about 3 or 4 houses. So there really wasn't any children there apart from like next door there was two the woman had 2 daughters. There was and they were roughly about the same age as my sister and I, but apart from that there wasn't really anywhere to go trick-or-treating because the next place that we could have like walked to was probably like a mile away, maybe like a mile and a half.
Oh.
So unless my mum got in the car and took us somewhere, which then felt like a little bit, I don't know, wrong. You can't, you're meant to go trick or treating around like your local area, right?
Yes,
you don't just go up and rock up to somebody like more houses and go, oh, I'll go here, thank you.
It's not really the done thing, is it?
No, I don't think so. So I think I was about 10 when the last time I went trick-or-treating, but I think that was more circumstance as opposed to anything else.
I want to say, if I'm right, I want to say the last time that I went was maybe the first year of secondary school. So I would have been about 11, maybe.
And I suppose as well, kids start to talk to them in secondary school, and I suppose certain things, like trick-or-treating, suddenly become less cool, and it's like, oh, you're not doing that, are you?
Yeah.
No one does that.
And of course, as they get older then, it's, there's a Halloween party.
Yes, I suppose you start moving into that field then, do you? Like where there's like parties.
Yeah.
And really, I suppose if you are a 13-year-old, surely to goodness you want to have a party with your friends rather than go knocking on strangers' doors.
Well, you'd think, wouldn't you?
You'd think, wouldn't you?
You'd think.
You would think. Yeah, I would say 12 is acceptable, but anything over 12, not for me, I'm afraid. I think that, once you get to 13, 14, you should be going to like parties. Obviously responsible parties.
Responsible parties with adults present.
Yeah, but I still think that, you don't want to, no, thank you very much. Imagine if you got like a 16-year-old knocking at the door, trick or treat. Just shut the door in their face, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Just go, no, go away.
Can you imagine? I'm in agreement with you on this one. I definitely agree with you that once they get into sort of 13, 14, it's too old.
It's too old, yeah. So that's the way to be. I've also remembered as well, I didn't get to use this sound effect. Just a cat.
Just a cat.
It's Halloween.
It's
You know,
Halloween.
a witch's cat. I just think that that's brilliant. And also as well, we've had some lovely new sound effects for this show. So I you know, brilliant debate. Let's pop another little sound effect in there. The studio ghosts are very happy with that, I think, you know.
Oh, Chris, you've really enjoyed yourself and outdone yourself on the sounds for this one, haven't you?
Haven't I?
Yeah,
So good. Yeah, brilliant.
definitely. Oh, that is unfortunately all that we have got time for. Just before we do go, I would like to wish Chris a very, very happy birthday.
Oh, my 105th birthday, 105
Oh,
years around the sun.
105 years. Well, happy
Don't
birthday
have to
to
day
you.
over
Have a
80.
wonderful day today.
Thank you. Yeah, it's today, isn't it?
Well, when this
Yeah.
goes out, it will be today, won't it? So
The Alzheimer's has kicked in. It's today. Is it today?
Is
My
it today?
birthday. Is it today? Well, I don't know. There, real laddie. It may be today. I don't know.
Oh, good Lord. So we are all wrapped up. Get it, mummies? Oh.
Mummies. Oh, with that. She loved
Oh,
it.
she loved it. She loved it. So have a spooktacular Halloween, wishing you all a frightfully fun night. I am Anne-Marie, he is Chris, and you have been listening to Jibber-Jabber. Good night.